What's going on, YouTube? It's WTF back at ya. Today I'm gonna show you guys my little secret on how to go about catching high IV Pokemon in Pokemon Go. I tend to usually try to go after 100% IV Pokemon, so I'm gonna show you guys what's the best way to go about and do it. What's the best way to go about catching 100% IV Pokemon in Pokemon Go? And like I said, I have been playing this game for a little while, so this is my little trick on how to go about catching the high IV Pokemons in Pokemon Go. I'm sure there's a lot of other ways, guys. This way just works really well for me, and I've been able to get a lot of 100% IV Pokemon doing this. Okay, and just to show you guys, I'm just gonna go to my favorites, or no, actually, I will go to my names. These are some of the 100% IV Pokemon that I have already in the game, and I've used this trick to catch them, and I will be sharing that with you guys today in this video. Alright, so yeah, this really works, and it works really well. So yeah, these are a lot of 100% IV Pokemon here, guys. And I am flexing a little here, but hey, I've been playing this game for a minute now, and I want to be able to share this with you guys so you guys can get the same advantage. Alright, so yeah, I usually, so as you guys can tell, obviously, I usually change the name for my Pokemon to the IV percentage, and then if I'm battling with them, I'll put that name next to it as well. Alright, but these are some of the 98%ers as well. Okay. Alright, so let me get right into it, guys. And here is my little secret on this. Normally what I use is I use the hacked version for Pokemon Go. Okay, that's the first thing. And then the second thing I use is the maps. Okay, I have 3 different maps that I use. The first map is for New York, so it's the nycpokemap.com. What I do is in this map I filter, so I'll show you guys that. I press the filter button and I choose the minimum IV that I want is 90% or higher, and then I check mark all the Pokemon that I do want to see if they show up that are 90% or higher. And then once you check them off, then you just go to the top and you press the save button. Okay, so right now there is Geodude, Scyther at 91%, Abra at 91%, and then Geodude was at 95.6%, I think, so it's 96%. Okay, and the nice thing with this map, guys, is that it actually tells you the level of the Pokemon. So it tells you it's a level 12, and it tells you the CP for the Pokemon, and it also tells you how much time is left on the Pokemon. So the way I go about this is I use 3 different maps, not just this map, but I also use the map for Chicago, which is this one right here. It's nycpokemap.com. And with these maps, I do the same exact thing. I filter, I have the minimum IV that I want to see, which is 90%, and then I choose the Pokemon that I want to be able to see. And then I can tell which Pokemon are around in Chicago that are above 90%. So right now there's a Porygon there that's 91%, level 22. There's a Rhyhorn, level 93%, level 17. And there's an Abra, 91%. That's level 19. And this is only showing me, guys, the Pokemon that I want to see. So there could be other 90%, but like I said, I don't have everything checked off. Like for example, Hitmonchan, Hitmonlee, all the not so rare Pokemon, I don't have those checked off. So if there's a certain Pokemon that you're looking for, I suggest to go ahead and check that off. And once you check it off, just make sure you choose what's the lowest IV you want to see and press the save button, and then press the X button. Okay, so this is the second map, and then the third and final map that I use is VegasPokemap.com. Alright, so Vegas, same exact thing. I choose the same filters with the minimum IV percentage, the Pokemon that I want to see, press save, and currently right now you can tell Vegas has a lot of Rhyhorns, and it's got some Machops. Okay, oh, and it's got a Jolteon right here as well, 98%, that's pretty good. So as you can tell, with doing this trick, you got 3 times the advantage to try to catch a rare Pokemon. Alright, so the best way to do this is, so right now I'm playing out of New York City, okay, and I'll show you guys what I normally do here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go after catching one of these real quick so I can show you guys. I'm just thinking which one I want to go after. Why don't we go after, okay, let's do this. Let's go after this. It's a level 2, but it's pretty high. It's a 96%. Let's go after this Abra. So I click the map button. It's going to give me the coordinates. Come on, coordinates. Alrighty then. So then I would copy the coordinates. I would go into my app, and in the teleport, I would go ahead and paste those coordinates. And it's telling me it's 17.5 kilometers away. And I've actually not caught anything in the last 10 minutes. And I haven't spent any Pokestops, so I should be good to go ahead and catch this. Now, the little tricks behind this is that if you're hopping between cities, a couple things you want to know. So say you are playing in one city right now, okay? You do not want to catch anything in the other city for 2 hours. However, what I normally do is, say I'm in New York City right now, I catch a Sabra, and I see like 100% Larvitar, for example, in Chicago. What I normally do is I'll go ahead, click on the map, and get the coordinates, and go ahead and click on the Pokemon, just like this, okay? And what I do is I actually go to my settings, and I'll show you guys this. I have an iPhone, so I'll show you guys on the iPhone. Why am I not able to click? There we go. So I click on the Pokemon. I'll go to my settings, and then I'll go to my displays, and then I'll put that auto lock, which says never on it. I already had changed this, but I would put it to never. And then basically what you're gonna do is you would just have to leave it on this screen for 2 hours, okay? That's the simplest way to say it, simplest way to put it. You just have to leave it on this screen for 2 hours, but hey, if I see 100% something, I don't mind waiting 2 hours, all right? And just know the exact time that you had caught the last Pokemon, or you had spun the last Pokestop, because it's 2 hours from the last activity that you did in the game. All right, so I'm gonna catch this real quick, and then I'll show you guys what I'm talking about a little bit more here. And this should be a pretty easy catch, hopefully, but you only get one chance at an Abra, but we got it. So sweet, got a 96% Abra. There we go. Okay, so if I was hopping cities, I would obviously have to be, I usually click on the Pokemon, change my settings so the screen doesn't go away. I usually leave my phone sitting there, but you can't do anything for 2 hours to try to catch that Pokemon. Now, you don't have to leave your phone sitting somewhere or leave it on that screen. You could do other things, you know, making phone calls, whatever you do on your phone, you could do that still. However, I just don't like to risk anything. So I tend to usually just leave my Pokemon Go app on that screen the whole time, especially if I see 100% Pokemon. But that's just my suggestion to you guys. So the only trick that really you want to be extra careful about is when you're hopping cities, you got to wait that 2 hours before you can catch the Pokemon. After you catch them, then say you see another one, depending on the time frame, you do have to wait 2 hours in between each Pokemon. Okay, but hey, this trick's worked really well for me, guys. That's how I got all my 100%. Yes, it is a little time consuming sometimes just because you're waiting around. I would suggest, hey, in the meantime, do something else. You know what I mean? I don't know. look up other YouTube videos on, you know, how to do other things in the game. But that's the trick right there. The other thing that I was gonna say is to find out what was the last activity that you did, you can always go to your journal. Alright, so in my journal, the latest thing that happened was I hatched something which was at 5:38, and before that, the arrow was caught at 5:36. So if I'm going to another city, say I'm going from here and I am gonna go, let me just go to the map. Ooh, there's an onyx that popped up, 93%. Okay, but if I'm in the same city, guys, if I'm only going like 10 kilometers away or 15 kilometers, just know, I usually calculate it by knowing how long it takes me to drive there. Okay, and that's what I base it on. So if it would take me 10 minutes to drive 15 kilometers, I would wait 10 minutes. Right? That's the best way to do it if you're within the same city. Okay, but if I'm going to Vegas, for example, and there's a lot of activity going on in Vegas, that's for sure. Vegas is popping. All right, so in Vegas, 93%. So if I was going after this Machoke, which is 93%, I want to know exactly when I can catch it, right? What's going to be 2 hours from now. So when I go to my journal, the latest thing I caught was, well, hatched was at 5:38. So I want to wait till 7:38 to catch it, okay? And then say I'm going to come back to where I was playing, then obviously I would have to wait another 2 hours, or I can play in Vegas for the rest of the time, and then, you know, when I go to sleep and I wake up, then I can come back to playing in New York, because I usually like to play in New York. But I've done this many times, guys. Like I showed you guys, these are all the different 100%ers that I have. I just caught some recent ones, and I've been doing this trick for a little while now. Because the maps are up, it's a great time to take advantage of this. All these maps that I've also showed you guys, all three of these maps, the New York map, the Chicago map, and the Vegas map, they are all free. Alright, and the last tab you see there, Gym Hunter, this is a good app that I use, or a good website that I use, that just locates the different level 5 gym rates. I might do something, I might do a video on this later on, if you're looking for gym rates, and you want to figure out how to get different tier gym rates, you can filter this and find gym rates. This is a really good app, or a really good website for that. But all these maps are free. Alright, so hopefully this has helped, guys. Leave me any comments. Alright, let me know if there's anything you guys want to know more about. If there's anything that you suggested I should make a video on next. I'm definitely looking for some ideas in the game. And my whole point is I'm trying to make everybody the best they can be at this game. And I'm trying to give out all the hints and secrets and so forth that I know in the game to make you the best player you can be. So hopefully you guys liked the video. Leave me any comments that you guys may have. If you like what you hear, guys, make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to keep up with all the latest. Thank you again. Have a great one.